Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder's Supply, and this video is to bring you a closer look at the Zero number 8193. This is a clear anodized aluminum perimeter seal with brush. This is a bristle-style door sweep is what it is. It could be an astragal as well. Obviously something 3 foot in length is going to be a door sweep. Take a closer look at it. They've got the screws taped right to the very end of it. So let's pull that off. A bristle sweep like this is going to be used very effectively as both a door sweep and ideally as an astragal as well. And the reasoning why it's ideal is depending on where you're using it. The fact that it's ideal will be slightly different, although both conditions really apply. And here's what it looks like. It's a really clean looking, smart in the sense of it being very likely very well suited for your application. Short bristle, not longer than potentially necessary. So why is it an ideal application for a door sweep? Well, that's why. If my fingers represented an irregular floor surface, a pitted threshold, a pitted sill, a threshold with slots in it that may not be, or grooves or flutes that may not be exactly straight. The bristle is exceptional at contouring itself over an irregular surface. Okay? I mean, no other insert is going to do that. Okay? Really seals it. And this is proven by the fact that people in the restaurant business, they will order from us the brush seal. And I said one time, it's interesting. Why do you guys always like the brush seal? Because being from Chicago, a lot of Greek people are in the restaurant business. And I'm thinking to myself, growing up with Greek people and etc., you guys aren't weather stripping distributors. You know, you're not weather stripping experts, but tell me why you're asking for the brush seal. I've got neoprene, it's so much heavier duty. I have, different inserts, silicone, polyurethane, vinyl. And they said, I was told one time, when the inspector comes, he gets down and he looks for light to come through underneath the door. And the bottom line is, the moral of the story is that they found that the bristle does an exceptional job at blocking out light. Okay, well that's great, but the logic is if it blocks out light, it's going to block out other things, like critters, little things that like to get in, and it is known and published that small insects do not like to land on bristle at all. They will not land on that and stay there, from what I've read. So that's why the bristle is really effective, proven by actual experience by people who are not experts in it but know what solves the problem. So in that regard, they possess expert knowledge, that's to be sure. Now as an astragal, this is a great option because this will also give you a lower amount of resistance when it's installed correctly to a door closing against it. You can have two sets of bristle just overlap each other if you bought these in pairs, in sets of two, or in multiples of two. You could dress off that margin between the two doors really well, and that bristle can just kind of touch and not make it so that the door is bound, that the door cannot close. The two doors, you just want to have contact, nothing excessive. And those are the two reasons why the bristle in this style may be effective for your application. They also show it listed here as a perimeter gasketing, from what I can tell, mounted to the jamb of a frame. I wouldn't install this as perimeter gasketing, not that you couldn't, but that's quite a lot of strength when you're pushing straight down on the bristle. If I was going to use bristle, and I would get the bristle style that's angled at a 45 degree. And they do make those, so that when the door closes, you're just folding that back a little bit. It gives you nice surface area to seal. So it's a great option. This is in the AA finish, which stands for clear anodized from Zero. You can also get these in black. You can do these in dark brown or bronze, dark bronze, and then gold anodized. There's an image below this video that shows some of the dimensional properties, but not all of them. We'll see if we can get that corrected. And overall height of the aluminum portion is about 9/16, almost 5/8. And overall height of the sweep itself appears to be closer to about 1 inch. Okay. You're going to see this installed as an astragal between doors because it's small. It's relatively petite in its footprint. You're going to see it installed on doors as a door sweep when the undercut on the door is not your typical 3/4 inch hollow metal. You know, if you have an installation where, well, commonly in an aluminum storefront installation is really where you'll see it. And the reason we say aluminum doors is because typical hollow metal doors have a 3/4 inch undercut, is industry standard. It doesn't have to be that. I detailed a job yesterday where the client specified 1/4 inch tall thresholds, and I said to the client, as I'm detailing and creating the submittals, why don't we run the doors a little bit longer? You know, a 3/4 inch undercut is excessive with a 1/2 inch for a door sweep to fill. Let's take that 7/8 total actual size less than the nominal size, and let's make that, you know, 5/8. 1/8 inch at the top and then a 1/2 inch at the bottom, a 1/4 inch for a threshold. That scenario is ideal for this small bristle threshold. It's plenty long enough to get down to where you need it to go to seal. It's not excessive. One thing I like about the shorter bristle as well, I'm trying to show you the bristle length itself. So, you know, 3/8. It stays nice and rigid. It stands proud. Sometimes when you have longer bristle, the density, of course, the density is different from up here down to the end here, but with a shorter bristle, it stays very dense along the way. You know, with these smaller units, the diameter of the filament of each bristle is smaller than a larger unit as well, and that's going to allow for you know, more bristles per inch of length, more coverage, and giving you a better ultimate overall seal. So they're great as astragals, they're great as door sweeps when you have those smaller tight margins. Now, this is listed in the site in lots of different lengths. If you have need for a custom length, by all means let us know by ordering the next longest piece or pieces, and simply indicate in the comment field the net length that you'd like for the material to be shipped out at. The reasoning is if you had to cut this item down, this 3-foot item down to say 32 inch, you would eliminate that first hole that's there. Okay. You're then going to have your holes not exactly in the center. Or proper center to center. So if you had to chop that down, drill another hole, these two are pretty close. It may not matter to you, but it would to me, in the sense that if I had a choice to do it smarter, I would. So if you have a need for a custom length, let us know. 36 inch, that's probably not good for anything. What would you install that onto? What door is a full 36 inch? They do exist. Wood doors that are full, that can be the case. But I would indicate that comment, that net size in the comment field. The other reason is there are 3 pieces of material in here. There's aluminum, there's bristle, but then there's some steel that's in there. That steel is what holds the bristle retainer together. Okay? As you can see right there. So you don't want to run this into your chop saw. You're going to see some sparks. So if you're going to cut this, pull that out, trim your aluminum, cut that with a aviation snip, push it back through, give this a small little crimp or maybe a dimple on the backside just to pinch that so this does not slide at all on you, keeping it in place. Okay, so if you order it that way, we'll be happy to provide it to the length that you want. This is a item that will include screws. These look like they're about a number 6 by 1.25" self-drilling screws. Okay. And there is a link below this video to a document called Installation Instructions, which is going to be just a generic document. Measure, cut to length, pre-drill your holes, install sweep, enjoy, that sort of thing. Then there's a product brochure, and that's a handier document because it will show some different items that are related to this. And the 8193 shows up in the perimeter gasketing head and jam protection. Again, I would avoid using that material in that scenario. I would look for the 8305, something at an angle. That would be far more, I think, beneficial to what your application is. You know, not a lot of compression in that at all. Then finally, there's a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the Zero products that we sell, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. If you have any questions on the Zero, this is their part number 8193 in an AA finish, door sweep or astragal, or I suppose head and jam perimeter gasketing protection, or any other Zero product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.